So I had a really lovely time meeting with Pissara of Dusita Paris Perfumes back in March at Esxence. I fell in love with her fragrance Issara. It's an aromatic fougere fragrance. Alison and I are going to review this one as Alison is a fan of it, and you've worn a bottle of it.
Yeah.
And we're also going to do a giveaway, worldwide giveaway of 2 7ml atomizers of Issara. So please stay tuned. That's right, Alison's back. She's a fan of Issara from Dusita Paris Perfumes. We're going to go ahead and review this one. And it is a Extrait de Parfum concentration fragrance launched in 2016. And it retails for a 50ml for $295. So for notes, at the top we've got pine and sage. In the heart we've got coumarin, bourbon vetiver, tobacco. In the base we've got musk, amber, oak moss, and woods. Tell me a little bit about this because you've worn a bottle of it.
I have, yes. This is a really beautiful fragrance, I think.
That's why I like it.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
It is a very beautiful fragrance. It is not your traditional fougere.
No.
Fougeres tend to be very cool, but this is a very warm fougere, but it has this undercurrent of freshness that's going on. As I was explaining to Sebastian earlier, it kind of reminds me of Napa Valley or Sonoma in the summertime when the hills are kind of this golden color because it gets pretty dry. But there's still this, cool air that's coming in and keeping things fresh and cool and alive, basically. It almost has like this graham cracker quality to it, I guess.
Graham cracker, huh?
Yeah, which is hard to explain. It's like this warm sweetness to it, but it's still very sophisticated. It's not too sweet. It's just got this it's like a golden hug, basically. And it's golden in color too.
Well, to me, being the lover of fougere fragrances, I find this to be a honeyed fougere.
Yes.
It's got like traditional fougere notes just coated with honey or something. Something sweet, but honey tends to be not overly sweet, and that's exactly what I'm getting here. Perhaps it's amber, whatever it is. It's just the traditional fougere fragrance, and they've just covered it up in like this warm and coziness. And I think that's why I fell in love with it, because not only it's a fougere, but it's also got that warm ambery touch.
Yeah.
Plus it reminds me of something classic I remember my dad wearing when I was growing up. I don't know what it is, but he wore those traditional colognes and fragrances and perfumes in the 70s, the masculine ones. And for some reason it hints at those. And I'm not saying it smells old or anything, it smells very modern.
It does.
But it has kind of like a hints at those kind of fragrances in those days.
Yeah, it's very classy. And it's just a very different take on a fougere. It's not like any fougere I've smelled before. So it's really, really lovely.
Those of you that don't know what fougere means or stands for, fougere basically means fern-like and tend to be very, very green.
Yes.
So do you think the tobacco in here is giving this the warmness? Because traditionally, coumarin is in fougere fragrances. That's the signature note. So I'm just wondering what is doing that. It's probably the combination of the tobacco and the amber, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the tobacco and the amber. I was also reading that coumarin is often found in a certain type of cinnamon, like cassia cinnamon, I believe it is, which I can actually relate to. Like there's just this, it's not like, cinnamon bark or anything, but there's just this slight sort of like warm, spicy coziness to it. So it might be partially from the coumarin as well. I think it's just probably the combination of all those different ingredients coming together that kind of give it that warmth to it.
But don't you think coumarin comes from tonka beans?
It does.
Yeah. But what is this other coumarin you mentioned?
Well, so coumarin is found in...
It's a molecule out of the tonka bean.
Yeah. So, but it's found in trace amounts in cassia cinnamon, I believe it is.
That's the first time I've heard this.
Yeah.
Thank you for educating me.
No problem.
So the tobacco is a pretty dominant note in here. Do you pick up a lot of tobacco?
I do, yeah, and I think that's definitely what gives it some of its warmth. I love tobacco and fragrances. I mean, I think it smells fantastic. And I think that's probably what gives it that honey warmth to it.
The other thing is I also find this very sexy.
It is, yes. If a guy was wearing this, I'd be all about it.
Yeah, there's that sexy factor. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just very... I mean, it's not overly masculine because, fougères tend to be overly masculine because this one's more like totally unisex.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I wear it. I think a guy could wear it. I think anyone could really wear it.
I think if a man wears it, it might go more masculine with the masculine chemistry. And I think if a woman wore it, it would go a little more feminine, I think. Don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. And I think, you know, this just makes me think of like a really nice gentleman.
Gentleman?
Yes.
For seasons, I think this is perfect for fall. I don't know.
Yes, I agree.
When you were talking about the Napa, I was thinking, okay, not summertime. I was thinking of fall.
Yes.
Because it's warm still, like in the Indian summers.
Yes.
And the cool breeze is coming from the coast, and because you know it's getting cooler and cooler. And that's what I'm picturing with this fragrance.
Yes, absolutely. I wore this actually last fall, you know, around September and October, and I just felt like it was perfect time of year to wear it.
Really. The other thing is, the reason I like it in the fall is because it's not too strong and it's not too light. There's something soft about it.
Yes, it's not like something, it's not just, it doesn't disappear, it's not gone immediately or anything like that, but it is soft, but it'll stick around for a while.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. So good.
Actually, on the paper, the pine is really coming out a lot more for me.
Sage.
Yeah.
Sage and tobacco. Although, bourbon vetiver, have you smelled bourbon vetiver?
No.
It has a boozy.
Really?
Yeah, booziness to it. But yeah, it's so good.
It's so good.
I think hands down, this is my favorite from Pissara's line Dusita Paris Perfumes. I mean, there's a few others that are like more floral, and then there's Oudh Infini, which is straight on animalic oud. But as far as one of the fragrances go, although the two new ones that she was launching at Esxence were quite nice. And I do like Melodie De Amour also.
I like that one a lot too.
It's a white flower, right?
It's a white flower. Yep.
But to me, this one is just...
Yeah, this is just, I mean, it's so different than anything I've ever smelled. And not in a, like, oh, that's weird type way. It's just a really unique take on a scent.
Very, yeah. So the fragrance is sold for $295 as an extrait de parfum in a 50 ml bottle like this. If you want to participate in the 7 ml Atomizer giveaway worldwide, all you have to
definitely do that.
You should.
Yeah.
It's worth it, right?
Yeah, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah. All you have to do is put a comment down in the info box as to why you want to win this Atomizer with Issara in it. There's 2 prizes. Also, please list what your favorite fougere fragrance is and what your favorite fragrance that contains tobacco is. Please do those so you can qualify, and make sure you're subscribed as well. And we'll run the randomizer and select the first 2 people on the list to win. This is a worldwide giveaway, so good luck with that. Alison, thanks so much for coming back for another video.
Thank you, it was fun.
Let's do more.
Yes, we will.
Okay. Guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Please put down if you're familiar with Issara or any of the Dusita Paris Perfumes fragrances, so we can get a conversation started. Also, please like this video, please share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.
Bye.